Do you ever feel like your swing is a little bit jerky, like you're trying hard to create speed and power, but the more effort you put out, the shorter the ball goes, the worse your contact gets. It really just goes all over the place. Well, how do we get that effortless, free-flowing, beautiful golf swing so that we can feel smooth, so that we know we're going to have some great distance and power, but we don't have to feel like we're muscling the ball? And that's exactly what we're going to go over in this video. I got 3 hacks for you that are going to help you to tap into your true potential and start playing some great golf. Let's go and get started. All right, so piece number 1, it all starts with a takeaway. If we get started in a takeaway correct way, we're gonna have a lot of good things happen. The right way to do this is to be long and free flowing. So if I'm taking a backswing, and this is with a driver or an iron, I'm gonna keep both my arms fairly straight and use my body to create the momentum going back. What I don't wanna do is start to pick up the club with all hands and arms and really start to use my hands and arms to make my backswing. If I do this incorrectly, what happens is I don't load up my body. I've picked up this club, and then I'm typically going to be all hands and arms coming into the downswing. And again, you're going to feel like you're jerky. You're going to feel like you're putting out tons of effort into the swing, but you're not going to get the club head speed as a result of that. If I do this the correct way, and now if I pause and my club's about parallel with the ground, both my arms are straight, look how much my shoulders have turned. I've really started to load up my chest and my body. That's a big key for power. Look how my hips have already started to rotate, and I've created this big, long, wide arc in the backswing. That's really good. If I look at the swing where I picked up the club with my hands and arms, you'll see this club reaches parallel to the ground, and my body really hasn't loaded up very much. My arms are gonna start to bend as I go a little farther back, and I'm gonna create a lot of problems. So that's piece number 1. I want you to do a solid 20 reps in your living room, making some slow motion backswings, feeling like those arms stay wide. I really want to create the biggest arc going back, and that's that long free-flowing swing like we see with guys like Tiger Woods, Adam Scott, Rory McIlroy, Jack Nicklaus. I mean, all those guys are really making a long free-flowing swing going back. Do those 20 reps in your living room, making sure the arms are straight, making sure the body leads the way, big arc as possible, and then when you go to the golf course, try to recreate that same thing with 5 shots. It should look something like this. Now, if we do the takeaway correctly, we're going to naturally want to start to create some lag as we start that downswing and narrow that up. If we pick the club up, go all arms in the backswing, we're going to cast. So we've done the correct takeaway. That's naturally going to get us to where we're going to be lagging a little bit more, and that brings me to my second piece here. As I release this golf club, I want my arms to be really nice and long when my club is parallel with the ground coming through the follow through. So on my backswing, if I can imagine a wall pretty far away from me, I want to have that club go into that wall. I'm not sliding with my body to get the club to go into the wall. I'm letting my arms stay straight to let my club head hit the tip of that wall. Now as I come through, same thing. I'm not sliding in front to try to reach that wall. I'm letting my arms swing out away from my body to reach that wall. My chest is actually back, which we'll get to here in a second. But I want those arms to be really nice and free-flowing as I come through the shot. I want to feel like my chest is almost turning back away from the target this way as my arms swing out forward. That's going to create kind of a whip-like action. As my body turns back, that club head's going to really want to accelerate through the ball. If we do that correctly, we're going to get rid of that chicken wing. If I do this incorrectly, I'm going to try to muscle through this shot. I'm going to be pushing through with my hands and arms, flipping the club, and now this is all going to break down, and you'll see I get a chicken wing action there. So the key to this is what we're going to get to next, but I want to show you one first with those nice wide long arms in full speed so you get a feel for what that's going to look like. So even if we know we want those long arms, we want to get rid of the chicken wing, how do we actually get rid of that? Let's put a stick in our belt buckle here, and I'm going to show you how our body should properly work to get rid of the chicken wing. Now if I'm doing the chicken wing, what's going to end up happening is as I'm coming through contact, my hands and arms are flipping at the ball and the club, my hips are slowing down, they're stopping, and then I'm ending up finishing something like this. So my arm folds up, and then the club just ends up here, and I haven't really rotated on around. If I was to put a club across my shoulders, as I come to my finish, you'll often see this club across my shoulders. If I was to drop that, it would fall in front of this club on my hips. So this would be behind the club on my hips, where now the hips are leading the way, my upper body is leaning back a little bit. This would be in front of my hips, where now this club would fall down in front of this line here. So if I do this incorrectly, to recap, if I'm doing the chicken wing, my hips are slowing down, I'm using all arms and upper body to flip past with my hands, and then I'm finishing with my upper body almost leading the way a little bit. If I do this correctly, what's happening is I'm letting my hips rotate out of the way. I'm letting my hips turn all the way on around, specifically by getting my right toe off the ground. And when I finish, I'm nice and high with my chest. My shirt buttons on my chest will be looking up. My head will be looking up nice and high. And I'm coming to a good, full, complete finish here. And if you look at this club now, you'll see how it's behind the bottom club. This will be in front of it. This will be behind of it. Now here's the reason that matters. In order to get this club to whip through, let's go ahead and show you how the proper way. I'm gonna get some lag, and as I turn up and around, so if I let my left shoulder come up and around, if I let my chest come up and around, if I let my hand come up and back in, that's gonna let the club whip through contact and really extend out away from my body. So by getting in this good finish position that I am in here, with my hips in front of my chest, now that's gonna make sure that that happens. If I use the wrong way, and I slow my body down, I slow my hips, my shoulders down, those all stay in place, and it's just my arms that flip past, that's when I get the chicken wing, and I'm gonna be finishing kind of in this hunched over position like that. It's gonna cost me a lot of power. So that's my third and final key. As you make your finish, make sure your chest is nice and high. My right foot has swiveled all the way around, just my toe is touching. And then I'm also gonna make sure that my chin is looking up and down the fairway. I don't wanna feel like I'm doing this or I'm falling back and doing this. I wanna make sure that I finish my swing. That's gonna help me to extend all the way on through the shot. All right, so 3 very simple hacks. Number 1, keep your arms wide. That ensures that your body loads up and you have that nice free-flowing backswing. As you release the club, keep your arms wide coming through. Again, that allows you to release through the shot, really extend those arms, getting easy speed. And then finally, finish with your chest and your belt buckle nice and high, everything rotate all the way around. If you do those 3 keys, you're gonna have a free-flowing swing looking like Ben Hogan or Jack Nicklaus, Tiger Woods, Adam Scott, all those guys that you really love to have. They're nailing those 3 keys very, very easily, and you can do the same thing. But I don't want us to stop here. We mentioned very briefly how when we extend those arms through, we want that club to release in front of the golf ball. That's what we call the straight line release in the Top Speed Golf system. Now, if I think about releasing this club 3 or 4 feet in front of my golf ball, I'm naturally gonna start to open up. I'm naturally gonna start to let my arms extend on out a little bit. I won't even have to hardly think about that. I've got a great video that goes over this for you. I'm gonna play a preview of that here in a second. Just click the card that pops up on your screen or the link down below. We'll go over this straight line release, how to incorporate it in your game. That way you get that effortless release that you never have to worry about. Let's go ahead and get started. A common misconception I see is that we want to create lag and we just want to hold that lag all the way on through contact and get as much lag as we can coming through contact, and that's simply not true. In the release section, we're going to talk about how to turn that lag into energy, how to turn that into speed so that you can hit it very far and do it, like we mentioned, without hardly any effort at all. And as we're coming through contact, we're going to fully release this angle as we're about 45 past contact. So if I draw, a 45-degree angle, I should be looking at both arms, nice and straight, the club splitting those arms. So that by releasing the club, by getting this angle to release as we're coming through contact, that's what's going to create the speed. Our hands are moving a very short distance. Our club is moving a very long distance through contact, and it creates that whip-like effect.
Very different swings, hitting the exact same position. So first, let's take a look at Dustin Johnson, releasing the club 45 past. And the reason we're going to see such different swings producing similar positions is that this is the real physics of how this has to happen. Here we're looking at Sergio Garcia. Again, we're going to see tons